existential risk you take when you cross the street. That's the existential risk you take when you put a piece of food in your mouth. And I say, and you say, well, can you imagine that hurting me? And I say, yeah, if I put poison in the food, you're dead. Okay, so do you trust me? Do you trust the waiter when you put the food in your mouth, right? So yes, there is some risk in life, and the existential risk is that extinction level event.
You don't think there's another layer of risk in that, not existential, because you're saying the risk-free return of Bitcoin is 60%. But I think there is, it seems strange to me to not allocate some percentage of, maybe it doesn't grow that fast. Maybe it doesn't remain 60%. You yourself say over the next, 21 years, it's going to come down. It'll average out over about 29%. What if that accelerates and the return ends up being substantively less than that? So I get saying that this has a better chance of having a higher annual rate of return than, say, the S&P 500, which maybe we clock at 15%. We say, we might not hit 60%, but we're probably not going to drop below 15%. Therefore, if 15% is our hurdle rate, it's going to be something north of that. But I think where people trip up with your language is this idea of the inevitability of the 60%. What would you say to that?
So we're dealing with three concepts: risk, volatility, and performance. Okay, so I've addressed the risk issue by pointing out that there is existential risk in your given network or frame of reference. And I just want to make that point that once you understand that risk of being in that frame of reference, then you have to figure out what's the source of the volatility and the performance. And if you don't understand why the asset does what it does, if you don't understand the economic physics involved, then you'll think it's random, and you'll feel like the performance is risky. But I want to give you an example of a physical metaphor. I'm a hiker and I come across a mountain lake, and the mountain lake has 500 trillion gallons of water in it. And yeah, I don't know how it got there, but it's there. The water's chilly, it's clear. And I look down and there's a waterfall coming off the mountain lake. And the waterfall, it's very beautiful and it's very turbulent, right? Water is turbulent in a waterfall. Water is not turbulent in a glassy lake. So the turbulence is volatility, right? And there's waterfall. And then I look at it. And now if you look and you say, I don't know why that water falls downhill. I don't know if it'll keep falling downhill, but I hate the volatility. Then I guess you can take a selfie in front of the lake, go swimming, get cold, and leave. But let's say you're not a tourist, but you're an engineer.